If you're moving to Northern Virginia, you should watch this video about the 7 reasons why you shouldn't relocate or live here. I've been living here for 10 years, moved here from New Orleans to Northern Virginia, and I want to give you more or less like a local's perspective of what it's like living here and what you should look out for before you make your move. Before we begin, I'm Abraham Walker with Ask a Walker, your Northern Virginia real estate agent. On this channel, we do all the research so you don't have to. When you're ready to start your real estate journey, whether that's buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate, click on the link in the description to fill out your perfect home questionnaire. After you complete the form, we will schedule a time to meet online via Zoom to answer any and all of your real estate questions. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for future videos about relocating to the Northern Virginia area. Okay, with that out the way, let's talk about the first reason why you shouldn't move to Northern Virginia: the high cost of living. There's really 3 things you should pay attention to when you're moving to this area when it comes to cost of living, and that's housing, transportation, and childcare costs. Now with housing, if you're buying a condo, you should spend about $400,000, townhouses $600,000, and single family homes $800,000. So this is just a general overview about how much things cost throughout the region. You should or should not be able to find something in those price ranges throughout the area in various conditions. The problem with housing comes if you want to be closer to your job base, or if you want a little bit more land, or if you want a little bit more finished, updated property, then you will need to increase your housing budget. When you're looking at transportation costs, the price of gas is going to surprise you because now you may have a much longer commute than you anticipated. And then there are toll roads, right? So HOV, HUV, high occupancy vehicle lanes, those things are all over the place. And if you want to get around quicker, you may find yourself using toll roads, which will increase your cost of transportation. Next up is your personal property tax. This is on all vehicles. It uses your Kelly Blue Book value to calculate what your tax is going to be every year. The next reason why you shouldn't move to Northern Virginia, I've already kind of mentioned it, is the traffic and commuting. Traffic in Northern Virginia can be pretty horrific, right? The main reason it's terrible around here is because we have traffic all throughout the working day. For some reason, 1,000 people in the middle of the day have decided to get on an interstate. For what reason, I don't know. That's just how it is around here. There's also weekend traffic, which allows you to be stuck in traffic on Saturday and Sunday when you thought you'd be able to run your errands. One thing I find strange about commuting is people who live further away from the job basis, they tend to tell a little white lie about how long it takes them to get to work. I one time had a friend who told me it took him 30 minutes to get to DC from Dumfries, right? You know, like if you don't know where Dumfries is, it's not 30 minutes away, okay? So just keep that in mind. If you know some people that are already living here, if they live further away from the job bases, they may be subtracting some time off of their commute times when they're sharing how long it takes for them to get to work. Another reason why you don't want to move to Northern Virginia is tied to public transportation, or really the lack thereof. Our public transportation is really designed to get you from your car to work. So you're going to have a car when you're living here, unless you live in Arlington County and Alexandria City. But only certain parts of both of those areas will allow you to live a car-free life. That means that you'll usually be driving your car to a commuter lot, to a metro station, to a slug line to get to and from work. Another thing that kind of sucks about our public transportation is that people don't really use it to go to the grocery store, to go to different events. It's really just used for work hours only. When we were in Chicago last summer for our family vacation, we used the metro on a regular basis. Public transportation was so easy. There were so many people on public transportation because they were using it to get around, run their errands, go to the grocery grocery stores, go to different outings. We use the metro to get to the baseball game. But that's not the same. That's not the case here in Northern Virginia. The metro, public transportation, is really just used to go from your car to work and then back. One more note before we move on to the next reason why you shouldn't move to Northern Virginia. Prince William County and Stafford County, they don't even have access to a metro station. So keep that in mind. The next reason why you don't want to move to Northern Virginia is population density. There are a lot of people here. Now, if you're not used to living in a major city, then it may strike you as a surprise when you get here and you see that there are people everywhere. A lot of people come to Northern Virginia and they believe that this is the suburb. While that's true to a degree, it's not a traditional suburb where there are trees and open fields between communities. It's not like that. There are developments everywhere for miles too. In Northern Virginia, there isn't a street you turn on that there isn't a house or a subdivision or a store or a library or a rec center. There's something everywhere. If there's a piece of vacant land, you can count on that land being built on in the next 10 years. Now, kind of in the same conversation with population density, some of our schools are overcrowded, right? So some parents have commented about this online. You may have even seen this online yourself. Now, I don't really count that as too much of a con because our high schools have an excellent graduation and college admission rate. So if your kids go to public school in Northern Virginia, it's very likely that they're going to be going to some type of college in the future. The weather is another reason why you don't want to move here. Summers here can be humid and extremely hot. Sometimes we'll even have heat advisories to tell you to either stay inside or to make sure that you are well hydrated before you go out because it can get that hot in this area. Plus, we're right next to the Potomac River, so it's quite humid as well. Then we have winter. Winter is kind of strange because it's a gray time of the year. It's very gloomy and you could have a blizzard, no snow, or something in between, right? So I don't want to paint winter as being too harsh because it's really not. And sometimes winters can surprise us. Our region isn't really set up for winter either. So when it snows, even if it's like that much of a snowstorm, I mean, really like an inch of snow can shut down the entire region because we're not built for snowstorms. So we don't have the infrastructure. No one has snow tires. People don't know how to drive in regular conditions. So when it snows, schools shut down. Sometimes offices will tell you to stay at home, work from home. That's just how it is in the wintertime. My only beef with spring is that at the beginning of the season, it's pretty chilly because we're kind of moving out of winter. And then fall doesn't last long enough. Fall has such beautiful colors and it feels like it's gone in a second. I wish it lasted longer. That's my only beef with fall. Lack of job variety is another reason why you may not want to move to Northern Virginia. Because the federal government has such a large presence in Washington, D.C., and we have a ton of military bases in this area, a lot of the jobs are tied to the government. One of the challenges with having so many government jobs is that a lot of the higher paying jobs will require some type of security clearance. A lot of people get their security clearance by serving in the military. If you haven't served in the military, or if you haven't found a way to secure a security clearance, it may be impossible or very unlikely for you to get one just in the open market or to find a job that will take you through the process of acquiring or securing your security clearance. That's going to limit your job opportunities. Something else I want to remark on when it comes to the jobs market in Northern Virginia. If you're working for a government contractor or if you get a government contractor job, it can be a little stressful for you when it comes for contract renewal or it comes time for your company to try to secure another contract. I know a couple people who have lived in this area who have had to switch jobs from government contractor to government contractor because the company that they were with lost their contract. The fast-paced lifestyle in Northern Virginia may be one of the reasons why you don't want to move here. Maybe you're from a small town where things go quite slow, where people are punctual. This may not be the market for you. It's very common for people to show up 10 minutes late for things because traffic is so bad. In addition to that, you have an 8-hour workday, right? On the front end, you have an hour-long commute. On the back end, you have an hour-long commute. That's a 10-hour day. Usually, a lot of people with those types of schedules, they don't have an active social life. They get home, they rest up, and they get ready for tomorrow. That's one of the challenges with living in such a fast-paced environment. Your weekends sometimes are only for running errands. It's not for you to develop deep relationships with people. It's not for you to relax. It's just about getting ready for the next week. Okay, so before we go, I want to talk about one more thing I dislike about living in Northern Virginia. Since so many people here are very educated, they have polished resumes, they have distinguished careers, I find that meeting people here can be a little bit challenging because people are trying to kind of place you in some sort of hierarchy system. And what I mean by that is you'll meet somebody, and before you can get into a conversation with them, they'll ask you, what do you do? They're trying to figure out if you can help them professionally and if it makes sense for them to continue the conversation. I'm from New Orleans, which is a very laid back environment, and people are a little bit more open and welcome to people, right? That's not the same here in Northern Virginia. This isn't to say that people here are negative or downers or closed off. It just means that sometimes a lot of your relationships can be about what you can do professionally for somebody else. I find that to be disingenuous, and I stay away from those types of people. If you also don't resonate with that type of vibe, then Northern Virginia may not be the best place for you. That was a bonus one from my perspective of living here for 10 years in Northern Virginia. Can't believe it's been that long, but yes, 10 years in Northern Virginia. We have a playlist for Northern Virginia relocation videos. Check out that playlist in the description. We also have videos for each one of the counties that represent Northern Virginia. In our opinion, Northern Virginia consists of Alexandria City, Arlington County, Fairfax County, Loudoun County, Prince William County, and Stafford County. What we would like you to do is you start your video research through the Northern Virginia videos, and then you funnel down into the region or the area you would like to live in to find out more information about those areas. There will be a video right over my shoulder here that will take you to the next video in this series. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.